I love knowing that I'm teaching the neural net when I'm driving on autopilot.
Welcome back everybody to Tesla Driver. I hope you're doing very well, and I've just got to say, I'm really sorry I haven't uploaded for the past 2 weeks. Being in lockdown and trying to run a car channel is pretty tough, to be totally honest. So if you have any specific video ideas you want to see in the next week or two, let me know in the comment section that I can still do while we're in lockdown, and hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll be able to go out and drive and do more of the autopilot videos again. That's the main thing I wanted with this channel, was to basically focus on the autonomy of cars and the electric tech of cars, and not being able to drive them is really hard to make videos on. But today I'm going over a big topic that lots of you guys have asked me about. It's my Model X, and as a lot of people know, I'm actually selling my Model X. We plan to sell the Tesla Model X of March this year, just as the lockdown hit, and it just completely ruined all of our plans. My insurance ended in April, the tax ended in April, 3 years of my payment plan ended in April. I'm gonna go over it all today, explain it all, explain why I'm selling it. There's like a good top 5 reasons of why I'm selling the car, and also what's next. Let's go over the specs then of the car, shall we? So it is a Model X 75D, all-wheel drive, solid black paint, 20-inch slipstring wheels, leather black seats, which was a $2,500 option back in the day, black headliner, 5-seat interior, supercharger enabled, and free supercharging for life, a huge one that is. Enhanced autopilot, which was a £4,600 option when I bought it, smart air suspension, and that's it. But since then, I've also bought the full self-drive update for another couple of thousand. So it's got all of the full self-drive features, but it is still using AP2. So it's not got the full hardware 3 built into it as of yet. However, that will be retrofitted for free for the new owners as time comes, because the full self-drive will continue with it, which is absolutely awesome. We also, of course, got it customized at Yanamize, like the best place you can go to get them customized. Black window tints, black dechroming, which was really nice. Black coating of the alloys, and then we also coated up the reflectors so they weren't so reflectoring, and they also, all the lights have like a smoke pack on them, which looks absolutely awesome, and it gives the car such a stealth look. But to be honest, right now, I'm not the normal driver of the Model X. My partner Hollie drives it way more than me, and she's pretty upset that it's going. Let's quickly get her thoughts on the car, what the best bits are, and also what the worst bits are.
My favourite things about the Model X are, it's very big, it's got loads of room for a Venice bike, it's got room for faro and shopping and all of that, so that's the most important thing. Number 2 is it was wrapped all black, so it looked super stealthy and slick. Number 3, it's quick. Aren't all Teslas, but yeah, it's a very quick car. It's quicker than anything I've ever driven before. For the Falcon doors, oh my god, they're amazing. And number 5 is I love the big screen. Oh, and finally, I love knowing that I'm teaching the neural net when I'm driving on autopilot.
First, let me go through a little bit of history with our Tesla Model X. Now, I actually ordered this in 2016.
And I've got a whole kind of setup.
I ordered it from Tesla in Heathrow. I went down, Hollie and I went, and we kind of played around with it for a bit. And then after kind of falling in love with the car, slap bang there, we put our deposit down, we got our order ready. The car came to £88,280. I part-exed in my Bentley GTC, which I think they gave me 40 something for. I gave that car in, and then the rest of the money was financed, and that finance was for 2 years. I'm still repaying, and I've got about 30,000 left to repay on the car, I think. And then obviously anything else is just already paid for from the Bentley and then from the payments up to now. The reason we were swapping it out for the Bentley as well was we had actually just had amazing news. Hollie was pregnant. We were planning for a baby. We'd been trying for a baby, and it happened way quicker than we expected. But this meant that the Bentley wasn't good as a family car. So at the current time, I had the Bentley and I had a BMW i8. Now, you actually could get kids in the back of the BMW i8 and the Bentley technically, but they were both so crammed. And also the insurance for my Bentley was about £4,000 a year, and I just couldn't justify it. And it was one of the best decisions I think we've ever made. Hollie absolutely loves the Model X. My partner, she absolutely loves it. I absolutely love it, and our daughter Ravenna thinks it's an absolute spaceship. And I'm really sad to get rid of it, but there is some really good reasons that I am getting rid of it. Insurance for the Tesla Model X hasn't been that expensive. It's been $1,800 a year, and then it's been going down slowly. I picked up the car when I was 20, so that's why the premium is really high. And I've just renewed my insurance literally the other day with Churchill, and it's at about $1,400. So it has come down quite a lot, but I didn't want to have to pay this next lump of insurance because we actually thought we would have sold the car by now. Also, the tax is due today, or the other day actually. So we're repaying the tax, but luckily the tax is Absolutely zero. That doesn't mean you can ignore the tax letters though. You still have to tax your car, otherwise you'll still get in trouble even though it costs nothing. Yeah, that's obviously a bonus of owning the Model X. We were really drawn to the Model X also by the free unlimited supercharging, so that stays with the car for life. So like the next owner, whoever has my car next, will still have free supercharging for life, and that saved me so much money. I've done trips to Europe, trips to Scotland, loads of driving around the UK. We're nearly getting up to 50,000 miles now on the Model X, and I've not paid a penny for my energy. I pay for it here at home, and I have spent a couple of thousand, I think, probably, over the last few years on energy, but that's because we have had 3 electric cars. But I've tried to plan previously all my trips using the superchargers, and it's worked so well, and that has saved us an absolute fortune. But with the price of the car, it's probably not. Like, you know, it swings and roundabouts. Another thing we loved was obviously the doors coming up. That definitely sold it for us. So I've had a bad back from, I think, since I was about 14. I was playing football on the street. I fell and hit my back on a curb, and I was kind of worried about putting my daughter's car seat into a normal lower down car. Having the doors come up and being able to access that seat, access the whole of the second row, was just a game changer. And with starting up a new family, we wanted it as easy as possible, as safe as possible, because of course it is the safest car out there, especially for rear occupancies like kids and stuff. It's so safe, and that definitely swung it for us. Plus, the car looks amazing, it's fast, it's just a beautiful thing. So after 50,000 miles, the car has just performed amazingly. It's lost about, I would say, about 8% of its range capacity in 3 years, which, considering 50,000 miles as well, that's not too bad. I've supercharged more than probably the normal person would, so I think that's maybe where some of the range has gone. But overall, the range of the car has kept just over 200 miles. It started at about 220 miles, so yeah, it's probably lost 10%. The only downside to the car at the moment that I can see that I haven't actually got changed or fixed is the screen. The screen has that very slight yellow mark along the sides now, which I believe is some kind of adhesive that's slightly come off. I believe it's covered under warranty, so you could get it changed, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's got those slight yellow lines down the side of the screens. But again, it's not a big issue, but it's just another thing that I've noticed over 3 years that's happened to the car. The seats have held up really well, the paint's held up really well, the alloys have held up really well. Every part of the car has held up so well that after like a really good clean, a really good polish, that thing looks as good as new. Like, seriously, it looks like the photos I took of it when I bought it, and we sent it down to Yanamize and got customized. Also, I've got to say, I'm just really into the whole minimalistic look that they're going for. So I was expecting some kind of internal refresh of the Model S and the Model X to almost match what the Model 3 and the Model Y are doing, but it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that. So for me, personally, I prefer the single screen of the Model 3 now, and it's another reason that I just don't jump into my Model X. When I get in it, it feels different. It feels more luxurious, it feels bigger, obviously. The air suspension is amazing, the sound is great and everything, but because I've maxed out my Model 3, everything seems just a little bit better on my Model 3. 3 years down the line though, we are now ready for something new. So obviously I've got my Model 3, which I absolutely love, and that's the performance one, so it's way faster than my Model X. So now, the Model X still feels fast, but it doesn't feel as fast. It feels more luxurious than the Model 3, but I pick my Model 3 every single time over the Model X now, which I didn't expect. And I don't think I would be selling it if I still didn't think that. But honestly, if I had to pick, it's the Model 3 every single day, which really is just an absolute kudos to Tesla. Like, the Model 3 is a banging car. Now, we had thought about swapping the Model X for the Model Y, but then the Model Y, in my opinion, is just too close to the Model 3, and I've already bought the Model 3, and there's no way I'm losing the depreciation on that to get a Model Y. And also, you can't even order a Model Y in the UK. Like, still, you can't even put a deposit down. So we're not going to be getting the Model Y. However, I do, of course, have the Cybertruck on order. So I think when the Cybertruck comes, that will probably become my main vehicle, and we'll probably keep the Model 3. I actually plan on keeping the Model 3 for forever, pretty much. It's funny, because I don't want to sell the Model X. I think if I could afford to keep all of my cars and more, I would do, but I'm definitely going through some kind of transition period in my head where I'm realizing you don't need all of these things. So that's kind of an overview of why we're getting rid of the Model X and what's coming next. Let me know what you think about our situation in the comment section. Did any of the figures surprise you? Did any of the reasons surprise you? And what would you do? Would you be looking for an upgrade to a Cybertruck? Would you go for a Model Y? Or would you have just kept the Model X with the free supercharging? Don't forget, because we've had nearly 100 referrals through this channel of selling Teslas, we've actually got unlimited supercharging pretty much for life anyway, because we've got like about 300,000 miles now in our free supercharger mileage referral program thing. So it doesn't really matter for us, because if we go to the Model 3, for example, I have kind of free unlimited supercharging with that, if that makes sense. So that was, again, one of the big reasons I bought it, but as we kind of moved across, I was like, oh, actually, I don't technically need it. Again, I appreciate that I'm not out driving and there's no new shots of the cars and stuff, but there's not much more I can do here. I hope you guys are staying inside, staying safe, enjoying your lockdown experience. It's a bit of a weird one, I've got to say. But when I get out of this, as soon as we can, I'll be going around doing the city tours every weekend and doing some even more crazy and awesome videos. I think the Magic Roundabout in Swindon is next. If you don't know what it is. Thank you all for watching, happy Veterans Day, and don't forget, if you're going to drive, drive safe.